Thank you so much for joining me back here. Today I thought we would do a little bit of a random fun video. St. Patrick's Day is coming up, so it is the time of green. Alright, so I figured I would go through all of the books on my shelf and show you each one that has a little bit of green on it. Nothing deep, nothing that exciting, but I thought it might be fun, so let's do it. First of all, I want to start out with my Harry Potter shelf, which I have here behind me. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire and Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince both have green on them within this stack. I'm not going to get them out just because it's a pain in the butt to get them out of the big old, box set thing. But they both have green on them. And then in the paperback box set that I have, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is green. And again, Half-Blood Prince is green. So apart from Harry Potter, The Maze Runner by James Dashner is green on my shelf. This very old edition of the Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens is green. I've never read this, but it is on my shelf. The Barnes & Noble Classic Edition of The Essential Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer. I always feel so insecure when saying that name. I'm not confident in my pronunciation of it at all, but the leaves are green, so it does technically have green on it, I guess. Oceans Apart by Karen Kingsbury. It looks more yellow on my viewfinder, but it is like a yellowish kind of green in real life. Again, I haven't read this book. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is more of like a teal green, but I'm still going to count it anyways. Because it's more of like a greeny teal than a bluey teal, A Storm of Swords by J.R.R. Martin. This is part of the Game of Thrones series, Song of Ice and Fire series. Haven't read it yet, but it's green. Hunted by Megan Spooner. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's a YA retelling that I actually really enjoyed. I read it, it's been a year or so ago maybe, but I did enjoy it. It's a little different in my opinion as far as Beauty and the Beast retellings, but I liked it. Again, we have another Barnes & Noble Classics, The Collected Poems of Emily Dickinson. I want to say somebody gave this to me because in all honesty, I'm not a poetry person. I read some of Dickens' poems back when I was doing my undergrad degree, but otherwise, I haven't knocked into this at all, but it is green. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I started this and then DNF'd it because it just wasn't for me, but it's green. Even Now, Ever After by Karen Kingsbury. This is a 2-in-1 type of deal. I read this years and years ago. I think my aunt bought me this book. Again, it looks more yellowy than green, but in real life it's green, I promise. This book is like a Christian romance book if you're interested in that kind of stuff. I remember really liking it, but I also remember it making me very sad at the end. But it was so long ago that I don't really remember what happens to make it sad. So just throwing that in there. A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I read this series. This is part of the ACOTAR series. I read this series last year at the very end, in December, I think. I really enjoyed the series. I know a lot of people have a lot of strife with it. To me, it's just a good fluff series. I'm not looking for anything literary or anything like that. For me, it's just something, to read for entertainment. Mastiff by Tamora Pierce. This is book 3 in the Becca Cooper series. I read the book of Mastiff by Tamora Pierce. This is book 3 in the Becca Cooper series. I read Becca Cooper back in middle school, I think, and I enjoyed them so much. And it's one of those deals again where I read them so long ago that I don't really remember everything that happens, but I just remember really enjoying them. So I bought them again as an adult. I hope to reread them eventually. So. Ascend by Amanda Hocking. This is book 3 in the Trill series. Again, I read these, I'm pretty sure it was my freshman year of high school. Really enjoyed them. Since then, I've gone back and reread sections of them for some school assignments that I've had to do. I'm not as impressed now as I was back then, but I do really remember enjoying them when I read them. The Wicked King by Holly Black. Hold on. Ignore how dirty it is. I don't know why they chose to make these covers white. Not a good idea, especially for me. I am not a white type of person. I can't have white clothes, white books. I just get everything dirty, so it's not a good idea. But the crown and the leaves and then the spine of the book are green on the actual cover of the book. Life and Death by Stephenie Meyer. Listen, okay? I was a huge Twilight fan in middle school and high school, I think. So I have a lot of Twilight stuff. I have all the books. I have this. I have the like illustrated like anthology. It's not an anthology. It's got like you know, like all the facts and stuff in it. I have that too. Again, I enjoy Twilight. I'm not afraid to say it. It's another fluff series that I read just for entertainment. I'm not expecting to have any kind of revelation when I'm reading it. I just enjoy them. So, Life and Death. I never actually read Life and Death, actually, because I just wasn't into it. It's not what I wanted. I really wanted Stephenie Meyer to finish the series from Edward's point of view, but that's a different point that we're not going to go into. Life and Death is a Twilight reimagined story, so it's basically flipped. So I think the girl is the vampire and then the boy is the human in this. I only read like the first chapter and then I was like, it's not what I want. The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. This is the second book in the Name of the Wind series. I've read the Name of the Wind. I haven't read The Wise Man's Fear. I'm kind of waiting for him to release the third book before I read this one. That way I can just read them all at the same time. Because I know if I read it now, I'm going to forget. I already need to reread The Name of the Wind. So I'm waiting. But right here, it does have a little bit of green. It's a darker green, but it's green. The last book that I have is actually a book I might be reading this month for middle grade March. It is The Wide Window. It is book 3 in the series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. This is a middle grade series that I really enjoyed growing up, and I'm actually really excited to reread them. And yeah, the spine is green, so there we go. I think that is it though. I think that's all the books on my shelf that are green that I can find or think of. This video was kind of fun to make. I enjoyed it. You know, I don't have to give a review on any of the books. I just tell you, hey, it's green. And that's it. It was fun. And thank you guys so much for watching it because I know it was kind of stupid. You guys are awesome. I am thankful for you. Truly I am. And I'll meet you back here next time. See ya! First of all, I want to start out with... Okay.